In this video, we're talking about a Kinetic Trimmers SMG, and now for this schematics. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, as human beings, there's one thing that we all have in common. We're not perfect, and all of us make mistakes. And in this video, I gotta rectify one of my very own recent mistakes. As some of you guys may or may not know, recently I've been doing this series where we go through every weapon class and we talk about the best weapons of each affinity, kinetic, stasis, strand, arc, solar, and void. And in the SMG video that we did, during the kinetic SMG portion of that video, I failed to even mention the new and improved showrunner introduced with season 22 that you can get by decoding your season of the witch engrams over in the helm. Beforehand, if you were to ask me what is my favorite kinetic SMG, I would have just said the submission from Val the Disciple with no hesitation. Subsistence or overflow in the third column, and then Frenzy in the fourth column. Sprinkle some Soul Drinker Origin Trade on top of it, you got yourself a very, very good SMG. And I was operating under that same notion when I made the SMG video. However, some comments on that video made me realize that I was sleeping so much on the new and improved showrunner. And in this video, we're going to give the showrunner its deserved credits, prop it up, put it in the limelight, and talk all about it and what makes it so awesome and why you could definitely make the argument that it is the best kinetic SMG in the game right now. Alright, so the showrunner is a lightweight frame 900 RPM SMG, meaning you're going to have some superb handling, and of course you're going to move faster while you have this weapon equipped and you're running around with it. That, of course, is a plus, as 900 RPM SMGs are definitely the community's most preferred archetype when you are talking about SMGs. There are a few decent 720 aggressive frame SMGs that people really like, for instance, the Iclos SMG, your Voltshot SMG, and one of my personal favorites, the Unforgiven SMG with Demo and Frenzy from the Duality Dungeon. However, most of the time when you're talking about SMGs, you want a 900 RPM one. And if we go ahead and throw up this weapon's perk pool, there are some really nice options. Of course, in the third column for PvE purposes, because, you know, this is for PvE, bro. I'm making a video for talking about the showrunner and how good it can be in PvE, okay? Not PvP. I'm going to be real with you. The only really, like, S tier perk in the third column for PvE for this SMG is Overflow, man. Overflow literally doubles your mag size whenever you pick up a special or a heavy ammo break. So there's going to be a lot of instances where you just have over 70 rounds in your SMG mag, which is going to come in handy more often than you think it will. I don't know many people that don't like Overflow. I mean, how can you not like Overflow? But for PvE in the third column, man, Overflow is the move. Now, in the fourth column, you do have some options. However, the best option in the fourth column, in my opinion, has got to be Kinetic Trimmers, man. Kinetic Trimmers was a perk added in Season 20 to help give kinetic weapons a little bit more utility in the sandbox, give them their own sort of elemental perk, even though it's for kinetic weapons only and there's no like kinetic subclass. But scoring multiple hits against a target within 3 seconds of each emits 3 damaging shockwaves from its location at the time of activation. Something else to note about Kinetic Trimmers is that shockwaves inherit the weapon's buff. The weapon's passive kinetic damage bonus, 10% on primary, 15% on special, and its combatant damage scaling. And yes, this means that your Kinetic Trimmer shockwaves will get boosted by things like boss spec and major spec. And since we're talking about Kinetic Trimmers here, might as well go ahead and just let you guys know the hits required for activation. For SMGs, it's going to take 14 shots, which for a 900 RPM, you're going to be dumping out those 14 shots pretty fast. Another reason why we like 900 RPMs, right? Pulse rifles and sidearms are going to be 12, hand cannons and scout rifles take 6, and then sniper rifles take 3, but if you get enhanced, they go down to 2. That's why we love the supremacy. This means that your SMG is going to have some real good firepower for dealing with those healthier enemies, especially if you're in under-leveled content. Now, the other 2 perks that you may want to use on this weapon in the fourth column would be things like Swashbuckler and then Target Lock. Of course, I do think Target Lock is more of a PvP perk, especially on primary weapons. Especially, bro, if you're going to use, you know, a perk to try and help you deal with those tankier yellow bars, champions, then you should just go for that Kinetic Trimmers, bro. Overflow and Kinetic Trimmers is my god roll for this SMG. Just like Instant Gaming is my place to go whenever I want to get my games in DLC for a cheaper price, If you want to get your games and DLC for a cheaper price, you head over to Instant Gaming, top link in the description, along with their free monthly game giveaway that they do every single month. That is going to be the second link towards the top of the description. Another reason why Overflow and Kinetic Trimmers work so good is having that fat magazine is going to allow you to proc kinetic trimmers more often in the same mag without having to go through the reload animation. Because I guess one downfall negative of this weapon that I can say is that its reload speed is a little bit slow for a 900 RPM SMG. Since you're going to be shooting the bullets so fast, you're going to be reloading pretty often as well. And with the reload speed of 27 and just a little bit over 2 seconds, getting around that as often as you can is definitely going to benefit you. Let alone doubling your magazine every time you pick up an ammo brick. All the more reason why Overflow is really good on this SMG. I wish I could craft this SMG, honestly. I woke up earlier today, I had 99 Season of the Witch engrams, and I wanted to go decrypt this SMG until I got the roll. And luckily, RNG's has blessed me, man. So shoutouts to him. This might have to be my main kinetic SMG moving forward. I loved my submission. Anytime I wanted a kinetic SMG, that was my go-to. But now, it definitely has competition with the showrunner. As correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the showrunner is the only Kinetic Trimmers SMG in the game currently. And submission, even when Frenzy is procced, it's going to take a little bit to down a healthy yellow bar, a champion. Although, when you're fighting champions, you generally stun them and then use, like, you know, your special weapon, grenade, your power. You don't just spam primary ammo against an overload champion if you got an overload SMG, unless it's like Osteo. That's the only exception. But with this SMG, you'll get some more utility after you stun them, you know? You'll shoot them, stun them, have Kinetic Trimmers rolling while you're hitting them with your special or power weapon. It just provides a lot more utility than the classic Frenzy does, which is, that's crazy for me to say, because I'll tell you what, Frenzy is one of my favorite perks inside of PvE. Anytime we're talking about weapons on this channel, and we're going over the perk pools, and Frenzy's in it, I at least mention it, talk about it. I just like Frenzy, 15% damage increase on top of getting more reload and handling by just playing the game. But in a decent amount of situations, bro, Kinetic Trimmers is just going to be better and better for you, and because of that, the submission has some really stiff competition now. I want you to go ahead and let me know down in the comments. If you have both these SMGs, let me know which one of the two that you like more, that you are using more currently. Is it the repriced version of the showrunner that we got this season, or is it still the classic submission with Overflow or Subsistence and Frenzy? Comment that down below. I'm genuinely curious, man. These SMGs, these kinetic ones, they're pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video. Remember, if you ever want to get your games and their DLC for a cheaper price, you make sure you hit up Instant Gaming, top 2 links in the description. You guys be safe, take care, consider subscribing, be safe at your Halloween parties, and we'll see your beautiful faces in the next one. Adios.